What's up, everybody? KG here, founder of the InternetMoney.io crypto wallet, the only wallet in existence that shares 100% of its revenue with holders of its token. Time, open source, twice security audited, on Android, iOS, and Chrome, constantly building, constantly innovating. Today, we're here with another project founder, Kyle Cruz. He is the founder of the SuperStake ecosystem, which is, I guess you could call it a derivative of the Hex ecosystem. So a couple an assumption that we're going to have on today's stream is that you already understand Hex. So we'll go into Hex as it pertains to SuperStake, but this is not your intro course to Hex. One thing that we love to do on the Internet Money channel is give projects a voice and an opportunity to really deep dive into the nuances of their protocols. And if you get lost here, that's okay. You learn something here, even better. But at the end of this stream, you should take away at least some golden nugget. And one disclaimer that we have to make is nothing said by myself or the co-host Kyle Cruz is financial advice at all in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to say that over and over again. That's everything in this stream is encompassed within that. And this is real time doing your own research. I know a little bit about SuperStake. I know some of the basics, but I do not know all the nuance in game theory. So I'm excited to learn about that this evening. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. I will do my best to get to any and all questions. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button, hit subscribe. If you're watching on Twitter, hit the little heart, hit the repost, no longer retweet, hit the bookmark so you can watch it later if you're not able to finish the stream. Without any more introduction, I'm going to introduce the founder of SuperStake.win, Kyle Cruz.
KG, what's up, brother? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for calling me co-host. I feel powerful now.
I feel like that's what you are here, right? Isn't that, I guess I could say guest. I guess that's the...
No, co-host. I like that.
All right, fair enough. So real quick, let's say we got a few people in the chat. Alsamak, good to see you. Always legendary in the Telegram chat, helping people on Twitter. Shout out to you, Alsamak.
What is a hex?
Sasquatch. Robbie, Gusto, and what is a hex? Well, if you ask a witch or you ask a crypto guy, you're going to get two different answers. So be careful who you ask. One is financial freedom. One might be something else. Well,
Ooh, good one there. I like that.
So, Kyle, you know, you've been on some other streams and we've heard your introduction into crypto and stuff. And that's not really what we do here on these deep dives. You know, we shout out to everyone else who does all that intro stuff because it allows us to not have to do that. So let's start in. Let's just jump right off the cliff. Run me through SuperStake. Go as deep as you want, and I will just ask my questions as they seem relevant.
Yeah. All right. So simply, SuperStake is a hex, as you said, derivative. Plain simple, it's a reflection token. Okay. Now, the biggest difference with SuperStake is that we use a portion of the taxes we put it towards a 60-day rolling hex stake, and we stake directly with the Hex contract. Okay. Now, what's the reason for this? Well, we end up paying out 1% of that total Hex staked every 60 days. Okay. So this means that basically what our goal is at the end of the day is to be the biggest public Hex staker, biggest community Hex staker. Um, that will consistently pay out every 60 days, regardless of volume, regardless of liquidity, any of that. Uh, no worries of rugs, obviously, no worries of anything like that, where value can just be extracted within a moment's notice. But that's kind of the gist of it. You know, if you want, we can kind of dive in deeper to the taxes. But basically, with the reflections, there's daily reflections as with any other uh, normal reflection token. But then again, like I was saying, we have the reflections that go towards the staking wallet, staking address. And then we have a 1% buy and burn as well. So it is deflationary.
Okay, yeah, let's actually go into the reflections because that is obviously a big part of what you're doing. And so are your reflections on buy and sell or are they
Buy
on
and sell.
transfer? Are they on
No,
transfer?
not on transfer, just buy and sell.
Okay, and so what is the tax for buy and sell
5.5
on
on
either
both
side?
buy and sell. Yeah.
Okay,
And that's broken down real quick.
please, that was my next
2%,
question.
yeah, 2% goes to the staking pool. 2.5% is the daily reflections. Both of those are buying hex. They're market buying hex at the moment, basically, of transaction. And then 1% goes towards the buy and burn for SuperStake.
Okay,
And
so when it's buying Hex off the open market, is it using the super stake to buy the Hex?
yes.
Okay. And then okay. So tell me one more time the breakdown of the
Actually, no,
percentages.
no, I'm sorry. Say that again. So no, it uses whatever token that the person was obviously swapping into, and then throughout the routing, before probably the last, I'd say, before it gets to super stake, it buys the hex, and then the portion left goes to buying super stake.
Okay, so if I'm swapping,
It's not going to sell. It won't sell super stake at that moment for hex. It's a good
I
question
gotcha.
though. Yeah,
I gotcha. Okay, so it would maybe say like, okay, hey, if I'm swapping super stake to pulse, it's gonna take a hop through hex or something
through
like that.
hex. Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay. And tell me the breakdown of the taxes one more time.
So 5.5% total,
Mhm.
1% towards buy and burn,
Mhm.
2% towards the staking, and then 2.5% towards daily.
Okay. So I think those are all 3 important categories. Okay.
Yeah,
So let's go with the staking first. So 2.5% to staking?
2.
2. Okay.
Yep.
So that's gonna go in market by hex, and then is it sending the hex to the SuperStake contract? Is there a wallet? Like, what
So
happens
there's
there?
there's a staking address that basically that's what stakes the hex directly from that address. That's all it does. It's very simple, but it is all autonomous.
Hmm.
So everything it does, and it's actually pretty fascinating when you look.
I think we lost Kyle. Can somebody drop a comment and confirm that you can still see me? Yeah, my Wi-Fi is still good. Oh, he's back. Here we go. And he's back.
You probably got worried there for a second because of what we were talking about. But anyway, but yeah. So the way this that part of the contract works, it's basically it holds the hex that is sent there. So a user buys that 2% goes to that part of the contract for staking and strictly staking. It sits there for those 60 days before the end stake.
Mm.
So as soon as the Hex end stake happens, all within the same transaction, you have end stake, and then you have payout. So that'll distribute the 1%, and then it will add the what was accumulated over the previous 60 days to the remaining 99%, and then it restakes all in the same transaction. So it's very fascinating. Yeah, so that it just serves as an address basically with some auto functions to take care of the staking.
Okay, I want to dive into what happens on the other end a little more, but let me get the full front end context. So, okay, so got that with the 2%. Now, the 2.5% daily market buy, so it's going to go off at the same time and it's going to open market buy or go ahead. Explain that
So it
to me.
actually buys, so upon each transaction, like I was saying, it buys it. And
Mhm.
then that goes to a distribution wallet. And then,
Mhm.
like most reflection tokens, obviously to be gas efficient and computational efficiency, it's just round robin. So then it pays out every few wallets, every um, transaction.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And what's cool is a user can they can trigger their own if they really wanted to. Like literally, you can just sell or buy one PSSH. That's the ticker. And that'll trigger your reflections as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is some effectively is somebody constantly being paid out? It just
Yeah. It's a
every
round robin throughout all the holders. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay. So is there any game theory around like okay, is person right, or is everybody getting distributed equitably or is like somebody who maybe would be getting more because a big buy just happened before their distribution, you know what I mean?
No, it's just based off of how much they hold of super stake.
Okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
okay, so you just hold super stake and that's your portion of the distributions.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's
Very
the same with staking, the staking distributions as well as the uh, daily reflections. And just remember, when I say daily, that's just what everyone kind of knows it as. It is volume based.
mm,
So, of course, if there's zero volume, there's no reflections, there's no daily.
sure.
But that's where the staking reflections come into play. But yeah, I'm sorry, go on with where you were at as far as the game theory.
No, no, that's actually I think a great time to have said that because that's what I hear a lot with reflection tokens is, "Oh, if they're not having volume, then they're dead." And for all intents and purposes, that's true. But in this system, and I want you to elaborate,
Yeah.
it you so you get your portion of the hex reflections that
Hmm.
are market bought by holding SuperStake.
Yeah.
Now the 2% staking, and thank you, Sasquatch. I actually keep referring back to this comment for the numbers. So thank you, Sasquatch.
Oh,
So
thank you.
yeah. So now you have the 2% that is compounding the stake. Okay. So stake goes in for 60 days. Now it matures. Now tell me about those numbers again on the other end.
Yeah, so it's just always compounding. For example, if you even want to pull up the site, I'll actually post it. Let me see if I can post it in the comments here. But we do have a dashboard with all this information. But basically, just so you understand how it's compounding, we started with around 600,000 hex, okay, p hex within the staking contract. So we staked it, and it went 60 days. Um, and then basically that turned into roughly about 2.1 million hex being staked just because of the volume that happened over the previous 60 days. Okay. And this was after payout and everything. Um, and right now we are at 200, we'll just say 250,000 hex basically. Um, to be staked. We got 9 days remaining. That's another cool part is that the stake always ends at the same time.
Mm,
Now, the only thing is to kind of, make it a little bit different is on day 60, um, it is within a random 24-hour time frame that
mm.
it actually ends. So that way someone can't truly game it like, you know, down to the minute. Um, but this creates so much game theory itself. I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting off track here. So um, if you go actually here, KG, go scroll up a little bit and then keep going up, 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 and then click on analytics. And that's this is the site I was telling you about.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. So this has this is the daily stuff here.
Hmm.
Well, not necessarily daily. This is the total rewards that have been paid out, total burned, obviously circulating supply. And then if you see there's a next to dashboard up top, there is stake. And this is currently where we're at. So right now our principal is at, as you can see there, just shy of 2.6 million hex. And those two previous ones, the history, those are our first two stakes that have happened.
Mm.
We're coming upon our third one, our third end stake. But I'll show you,
This is pretty
while you're,
cool.
yeah, man, it's very clean. Very thankful. Someone in the community actually made it for us.
Wow.
Um, so I'll show you something interesting here.
Hmm.
So look at the yield. You see that yield
Right here.
right there?
Yep.
Yeah. And do you see the yield on the previous ones as well in the
Here.
history? Yeah. So those are above 1%, right?
Hmm.
So no matter what, even if we're paying out, say our token dies, it's just done. Like, um, and that's it. Like nobody likes it anymore. Everyone's hating on SuperStake, whatever it may be. Doesn't matter. Like even after we pay out that 1%, that pool is still growing by like say the first month it grew by 0.43 on top of obviously the volume that added hex in. But I'm just saying like if it came to the point where there's zero volume, and this is not saying like, oh, like I know at that point, if it ever got to that point, it's minuscule unless we're staking like tens and hundreds of millions of hex. But this is just showing it's a proof of concept and it's
Mm,
innovative. Like no matter what, this pool is always growing. That means your rewards, your payouts are always growing every 60 days. As long as you just hold the same amount, you're getting the same percentage. Plus, you know what day you're going to get paid.
mm,
Like, so that's where game theory comes in. So if I'm a whale and say the hex, right now it's not big enough. And I'll say this, just as a forewarning, I don't think it's big enough for people to just jump in. It's not worthwhile to be able to just jump in and jump out. But I think it could very well get to a point where if we're, if the stake is high enough, people can calculate their value, their exact value, 59 days before it comes out because you know how much is staked. So that principle there, all you do is you add the yield to that, and that's 1% of that is going to get paid out in 9 days. You see?
oh,
So
right. Because okay, so
so the hex stake ends,
mhm.
and when the hex stake ends, obviously the hex that's minted is your principal plus yield, right?
Oh, because this is the current stake here.
Yeah.
This big window.
Yep. Big window is all current.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Um,
Go.
so actually, it's the number, the total. I don't know why I didn't even see that. I always use this on my phone, so it's a little different on computer. But if you look under progress, so that total amount there,
Yep. Yep.
um, yep, that total amount there, that is 1% of that, and that's going to go up a little bit because there's still 9 days left. But 1% of that is going to get paid out to all holders, between all holders. So the fact that you can calculate this so far in advance,
Mm.
the game theory behind that aspect alone is outstanding too, because are there going to be guys getting in a day before, 2 days before, that know? Because think about it this way: if at some point we do get back to 50 cents, you know, 2 point, that would be 2.6, so well, like 1350, close to it. So $13,500 would be getting paid out.
Mm.
Um, which is outstanding. Like at the end of the day, and that's getting paid out in one transaction on one day. So if I'm a whale and I know, oh man, SuperStake, it only costs, you know, $1,000 to get 1% or whatever it may be.
Yep.
Like it might be worth it. And then more guys will also buy in after. So that, what does that do? That generates volume.
Mm.
More volume, more hex going to the stake, and more hex going into everyone's pockets. And then what happens? People are probably going to sell off after. There's going to be people who are going to sell off and, chase other green candles. And if you're still holding, guess what? You're getting hex reflections. And there's more hex going towards the stake. So it's yeah, it's kind of win-win everywhere. Usually where when I hear other reflection tokens, when they say, ooh, even if it's selling, yeah, guys, I know we've gone down 60%, but think of all the reflections you've earned. And it's all just like, this fixes it. This fixes all the bullshit. Like, I don't have to be in my chat saying like, guys, just hold this hold. I don't have to. Like if there's holders in our chat that really believe in this. They see that it's something different and something that could be huge. Like literally, it could be a retirement account if the hex in there got up high enough. If that got to say even 10, even just 10 million at 50 cents, that's 50 grand getting paid out on one day. You own 1%. What is that? 500 bucks that's going in your pocket?
Sure.
Why not? Guess what?
Well,
The next month it would be, or the next stake, it's going to be more, no matter what. And again, this is all speculation. Okay, this is speculation as far as the hex native yield staying above 1%, which it has done for this certain stake, this level for 4 years so far. So, um,
so yeah, so
and of course
tell
the price of hex.
tell me
But
about that. Tell me about that real quick. Why
overall,
is
it just
this
fixes reflection tokens. That's it.
so
It fixes them.
why is this over 1% yield? What variable caused that?
Nope. I think
Hello?
did I mute you? Did you
I
mute
can
me?
I can hear you.
Oh,
Hello?
KG.
Yeah, can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay, so on this yield here,
Yeah.
you have what variable makes it go above 1%? How did that happen?
So that's just native hex yield. The stake, like I said, our first stake was 670,000. So doing a 60-day stake yielded 1.4%.
Oh, okay. I got you. So 1% went to the PSSH holders and 0.39% got compounded to the stake.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So no matter what, it's, still growing. Now, the other good thing to think about is really the only way, well, I won't say the only way, but if that number does go below 1%, most likely that's because more people are staking Hex, which at the end of the day is great. It means the system's getting more secure. It means there's more interaction with how Hex was actually supposed to be used. Because right now it's what, 10% of people, 10% of holders are actually staked.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So in the example that, okay, so let's say this was 0.8%, would then 100% of that get distributed to PSSH holders?
So it's not of the yield. So the total, it's of the total amount that gets
Oh,
distributed.
gotcha.
Yeah. So that's how it's always increasing.
Well, okay. Well, in that example, when you said if more people stake and this goes below 1%, then it actually is going to start to cut into the principal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But at the
Oh,
end of the day as well, if Hex, as bull runs come, they come and they go. As Hex runs up, you know, that the payout, if people look at it as value, as far as what the value is, or they just realize that if they get Hex and they just hold it, at some point it should come back around where it's uh the value of it is what you bought it at. But anyway, so um when a bull run comes around, the system just it self sustains it, or it self promotes it basically. Like the FOMO factor will come in because they know that in 60 days or in X amount of days the stake's ending. So it's always on the 13th, 13th and 14th. So, I'm kind of hoping that this becomes almost an event in the community where they know the next super stake is ending. The next super stake is ending, you know.
so Don Montoya, what's up? Good to see you, sir.
Uh,
Actually asked a pretty good question here. Hey, Kyle, good to see you, mate. Does the 1% go to buying and burning Hex or PSSH, which is
PS
PSS?
PSSH, yep.
And if it burns the PSSH, does that magnify the existing percentage of the yield from the PSSH holders or remaining holders?
Yeah, I mean, because it's from circulating supply. So,
And it
um,
doesn't inflate, right?
no,
PSSH? Hmm.
does not inflate. Started out with a total supply of, and if you go back to the dashboard, you can actually see those numbers. But it goes back to circulating supply was 550,000, and one thing I do want to make clear as well is holders must be holding 5,555 PSSH
Mm.
to receive reflections. So that actually adds some additional game theory as well. I didn't realize how dark I was there. Um, because right now I believe 5,555 is around $100.
Actually less, it's 45 bucks.
Oof, look at me inflating. So 45 bucks. Um, so as it gets up there, man, I mean, if it does get up there, you never know. There's trust me, there's plenty of people who don't want this to go. They don't want the price to keep going up because at the end of the day, they can keep getting more and more super stake and just hold it, and every 60 days you'll get some hex in your wallet. Out
So,
on top of the volume-based rewards too.
okay, so you have total supply and then you have circulating supply. So this was the
Initial,
okay, yeah, yeah. Maybe I should say initial supply.
yeah.
And then this is
What's
so
circulating?
but what's remaining, right? So
Yeah.
2.49%. Yeah, right. Perfect. I see that. Okay. So 2.49% has been burned. See, that's actually an interesting component that, you know, that I kind of like about, learning about this system. One thing that kind of stood out to me is that the amplification of your income passively, right? Because as kind of the same thing with time token in our system, as time, or in this case, PSSH, gets burned from existence, you actually increase your position passively because other people are dropping out of the game, right? Was that how it
Well,
worked?
no, well, you got to think. So this is buying. It has to buy it from the liquidity pool.
Sure.
So it's basically buying from liquidity. So what that does is that raises the price just a little bit, but it does get rid of obviously circulating supply, or it gets rid of circulating supply. So at the end of the day, scarcity. I mean, scarcity could always lead to increase in price. But as far as it doesn't go back to holders or anything by and increase their yield. You know what I mean?
Well, no, not the token itself, but like let's say so when there was, 55 million tokens,
Yeah.
you the yield was being distributed to people based on that number. But now that there's 54 million, you can technically have more of the yield, right? Even if you didn't buy more tokens because
Well,
you have
s-
more of the
s-
pie, right?
so liquidity providers don't receive yield.
Okay.
So that is one thing. And that's one thing I've been wanting to find a fix for, and that I've been trying to for the longest time. That's not cheesy. That's not like a cheesy fix. That actually is something decent. But um, so when you take out as liquidity grows, obviously that's taking out more tokens from receiving reflections. And this is actually a stat that I want to get on here. But that means that there's that many less tokens that are actually receiving reflections. So then that would increase.
Lost him. Yeah, so heads up, Kyle, before we got on stream, he was telling me that there's some infrastructure thing going on around his house. So he might warn me that he might drop off. Told him about your infrastructure outage around you.
Yeah, I don't, dude. I don't know. Literally every stream I try and do, it just there's always something. But yeah. So as far as liquidity goes, as liquidity goes up, if more people are providing, obviously more PSSH goes into it, then everyone's yield would increase. But once you do the buy and burn, just because it's not in liquidity, um, it wouldn't actively raise your yield at that point.
I see exactly what you're saying. So technically, when somebody provides liquidity, does
Yeah,
that boost other people's rewards?
it
If
would.
that,
I mean, because you're taking. It's almost like taking it out. So if you looked at, say, circulating supply as the reflection, like that's how many people are receiving reflections. But then when you look at liquidity and you see 42,000, you've removed 42,000 of tokens basically from that circulating supply that's receiving reflections. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah. So if there were two guys here receiving reflections, and then one guy says, okay, well, I'm going to provide liquidity and I'm not receiving reflections anymore, then only that one guy is going to be receiving all those reflections then. Get it?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
So basically, let's just do a thought experiment to make sure I follow. So let's say there's 10 guys
Hmm.
and each guy owns 5555 super stake.
Yep.
So each guy is getting 10% of the yield.
Yep.
Now, so let's say one guy buys out the other guy. Everyone else has 5555 and he has whatever that is, 1110, whatever. So he's now getting more of the yield than the other guys.
Yeah. So it's
Gotcha.
all based on holdings, on percentage of super stake that you hold.
I gotcha. But you have to have 5555 to even enter the
Yeah,
gotcha.
to be eligible. So that's the other thing. Like, well, few people always bring this up. So you remove the liquidity, the tokens that are in there from anyone receiving reflections. So that boosts it as well. And then all the wallets that have less than 5555. Like there's actually quite a few people that just I think they know, or maybe they just like I have no idea the thought process honestly behind it. We make it very clear on most of the website and Telegram and all that. But plus, you think these people would say something after holding for half a year and not receiving any hex. But either way, get rid of those. So it's actually less than that 97.51 if you look at it from a reflection standpoint.
Okay, we actually have a quick question here. Having trouble swapping PSSH in the Internet Money wallet, up to 5% slippage, no liquidity. What am I doing wrong?
So we
Try
talked
six,
about this before. Yeah.
yeah, try 6 to 10%
Try
slippage.
try 6 because it is 5.5, so it
I
will have
gotcha.
to be above 5. Um, but me and you have talked about that too, where for whatever reason, sometimes this is why I added liquidity to 9-inch as well, because 9-inch seems to always pull up. And I gotta give a big shout out to you too, KG, because a lot of these dexes and aggregators or whatever, they uh, they don't work well with reflection tokens. They do not. And basically everyone that we brought it up to say, oh, we'll look into it, or just flat out, they don't work. Sorry. But you and Don, you guys came through and got it working.
No,
Literally, yeah.
no, I appreciate that shout out. That's actually something that for those that don't know, the Internet Money Wallet has an amazing in-app swap feature for Pulse Chain, Ethereum, Binance, and Polygon. But on Pulse Chain specifically, it is the best place to swap on Pulse Chain. We can pair all the dexes, all the aggregators, and you get to see all the quotes side by side. And we actually have, not just for PSSH, but reflection or tax tokens in general, we have more support with the Internet Money in-app swap, Internet Money Wallet in-app swap on Pulse Chain than any other place does to swap. So if you're someone out there that's swapping tax tokens, we've got great support for it. And so yeah, and just a quick tip for people: when you are swapping tax tokens, you need to know what their tax is. In this case, PSSH is 5.5%, but some tokens have 2% or 20%. So you need to know what that tax is. And when you go in there to input the slippage has to be more than the taxes. So in this case, with the tax being 5.5%, try at least 6%, and that should start getting you quotes.
Yeah, because there's more than enough liquidity to where you shouldn't have to go any higher.
And we got another question here from Sasquatch. Event trigger equals date 13th, 14th, no inflation, must hold 5555 PSSH minimum to receive reflections of Hex Superstake. Buying from
Reflections of Hex, just
reflect
Hex.
okay, reflections of Hex.
Yeah, we don't reflect on ourselves because that never works. Those
So
are like the first tokens to always go.
right, because they either hyperinflate or the only way to extract the value is to sell the thing that's generating you the value. So it kind of
Yeah, it's
contradicts itself.
yeah,
Okay, then he goes, what holds up the pool? Wouldn't pool liquidity providers need incentive?
yeah. So you're absolutely right. So that's where I mean a lot of them I think really just they see what we have and they want to see us succeed a lot as well. They like the pulse. They like getting the pulse, and then maybe they'll pull their liquidity before the 60 days, and then they'll just get that chunk, and then they'll go back put it in liquidity. Um, but no, so that's one thing that I really do want to try and figure out. Um, I just yeah. So we're talking about it. But
Well,
one of the best things is
oh,
liquidity.
please.
It doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, it's harder to get big whales in who want to buy $10,000 at a time. I understand that. But as far as like actual liquidity, you're getting all your rewards in X. So at the end of the day, um, you know, this could get to a point where it's basically just paying out Hex and you don't have to worry about liquidity. It's not going
That
to be Yeah.
That's very interesting component, because yes, of course, everybody wants number go up, but we're starting to kind of see this new era of token that yet number go up is only one of the potential benefits, right? Like seeing it with SuperStake, you see it with our token Time. I think you can say you're seeing it with like Magic Carpet Rides token Bean or Power Cities token, or maybe that's their token MCR or Power Cities token Watt or Mintra with Mint. You're seeing these tokens that are revenue based in the sense that the value is coming from elsewhere. So
Yeah.
that's a pretty cool mechanic. And I think that's kind of like a new generation crypto attribute, maybe.
Dude, they're gonna have to make a new category for us on CoinMarketCap when that time comes. I promise you. Because like, dude,
Well,
if we got to like 100 million hex, it's game over. If Godwell, if he, you know, Godwell, if by any chance you're listening and you and your buddies got together, whatever, and you want to do a community wide stake that pays out 1%, we're your guys.
mm,
But I'm dead serious. At that point, volume doesn't matter. Who cares about volume? That hex is already in there,
mm,
and it's just doing its thing. Every 60 days, 1% gets distributed, gets restaked, and it's growing again because of the hex native yield.
mm.
So
Have have you or your team done any, or anyone in your community, have you guys done any sort of stat that says, hey, if I would have bought, let's say 555, PSSH, or I would have bought, well, let's call it 50
hex.
bucks. You know what I mean? If I bought 50 bucks of Super Stake or I bought 50 bucks of Hex, have any of those comparisons?
Yeah, a couple of the guys always bring it up, and they always do stuff like, "Oh, I'm earning this now." And I tell them like that's pointless. Don't do that. Because like when people ask me, when they give me that, well, why not just buy Hex and stake it? I go, do it. Yes, I'd rather you buy Hex and stake it because our whole system relies on Hex.
Mm.
So if I have a way to,
What's up, Revolution? I mainly pulled you up because I respect the Metatron's Cube. I'm a big Metatron's Cube fan. I was actually wearing a Metatron's Cube shirt today. And he's back.
KG, why are you messing with me, man?
Bro, you still alive out there?
Why you keep kicking me?
Bro, my hand was on my face.
Yeah. What about that other hand? Where's that at?
Is leaning on my chair.
But
Go ahead.
yeah. So I mean, think about that. Where volume doesn't matter, liquidity doesn't matter. It's amazing. I don't know if is that where I left off. I have no idea why this keeps kicking me. But
Well, basically, okay, because I have heard about your token out there, and the biggest thing that I hear, obviously, well, two things. Reflection token's bad, which I can add some validity there because historically, we reflection tokens kind of do the same thing. They have a lot of hype, they pump for a little bit, and then someone's left holding the bag. That tends to happen.
yeah.
Now, so that's number one. And number two is people would say, buy Hex. Why buy Super Stake when you can buy Hex? And so you were kind of speaking towards that,
Oh
to
yeah.
that.
So yeah, I tell people literally every time, like we do not want to be a competitor to Hex. We don't want to. We're not trying to take anything away. Like we're the only one of the only protocols that's actually. I know you guys actually do it as well. You do a buy and burn for Hex. Like we're one of the only ones that as well that actually buy Hex. We market buy. 4.5% of all of our volume goes towards buying Hex. I see these meme coins doing and these hexagons promoting meme coins, and these meme coins are doing $1 million volume, 500K. Where's that money going? It's going from one pocket to the next. Ours is going to build something. Ours is going to your favorite coin, that favorite coin that everyone is together for. The
Mm,
reason that we're all here. Like so Yeah, so I always say stake Hex. That's good. Do it. Like, be safe about it. Know exactly what you're staking. If you're on Ethereum, be very careful and, you know, just learn about staking, which we, on our website in the white paper, we explain a little bit more about it. But yeah, so we're not trying to compete with Hex at all. We're trying to just help strengthen Hex any way we can, no matter how minimal it is. And yeah, that's it.
So here's an action. Obviously this
Marked.
gentleman Marks is in your community here, but this is another perspective from a holder. I want to be the last person holding PSSH. I'll get the whole 60-day payout. It kind
Yeah.
of goes to your point.
hmm Like think of kind of like how it's like kind of like a blend of ICOSA, I guess you'd say too, where the last person is always going to get it. Um,
Oh, with
but the
Watsa.
with Watson, yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
loved
yeah.
Watson, man, I did. Um, and just how that worked out, where, but Super State can get in whenever. Um, doesn't matter. That's the other thing I just wanted to bring up real quick. There's no time constraint. Like you don't have to hold for a certain amount to be able to get access to the staking rewards. You can literally get in the day before. You can get in the hour before, 10 minutes before. As soon it's just one transaction that happens. Remember that I was telling you from that
Mhm,
address.
mhm.
And all of the logic and all of the computation, everything's within that single transaction where it reads everyone's wallets and it does its magic. So calculates exactly what everyone should get just based on their holdings. Nothing to do with um, time that you hold or anything like that. Not your token, but um, so yeah, man, it's different. Like it's trying to promote safety, trying to promote um, just setting up something for the future. I think we're both the same in that aspect. Like we see long term. Right now it's we're going through such a bad, like, I just don't get it. I don't get There's a new coin launching every single day and there's like all this volume just going. And it just blows my mind to think if it were just to go in some core projects that everyone knows. And don't get me wrong, like I'm all about open market and everyone can do what they want. Everyone should have a fair shot. But some of this stuff, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense how it just explodes. Um, so that's it. We're just wanting to bring a real project, real product, some innovation, just like you guys. You know?
No, I hear you. I do. There's a lot of the shiny object syndrome every day with a lot of tokens and a lot of projects
Some of
and
them aren't even shiny though. Some of them are just like literally. I saw one the
object
other.
syndrome.
Yeah, I saw one the other day. It did like 50K in volume, and it did like a 20x. And literally the logo, you can just tell the logo they just stole it from like Google, and it still had the watermark. It still had the watermark in it. I'm like, what? What is happening here?
All they have to do now is slap a logo on it,
Yeah, man.
not even verifying contracts or, even doing the basic. I mean, look, a verified contract people out there doesn't mean you're safe. Audits don't mean you're safe. Yeah, they show intent and they show at least attempt at transparency, but you just don't verify these things. But I'm even learning now that they're using arbitrage bots, not even the ones they deployed, just using them to their advantage to pump the volume. So if
Yeah.
you're out there seeing a token that has a lot more volume than makes sense, well, there's ways to do that aren't, necessarily real human beings buying and selling the token. That's
And
happening every
that's
day.
interesting. Don't get me wrong, like we've kind of played around with that, and that's kind of like PTGC. That's kind of how they're a little bit of their philosophy is around having multiple pairs and make sure there's always activity. Now, a lot of times you'll hear because like just artificially inflating. Well, it's not even artificial. I won't say it's artificial, but inflating the volume like that, it's if you're not a reflection token, it doesn't really matter. I'd say. But also, if you're a reflection token, like I'm starting to see now a lot of reflection tokens that'll come out and they'll say like, yeah, regardless, even if there's no volume, like, or even if there's nobody buying or selling, the arbitrage bots alone are gonna generate rewards. And it's like, no, they're not. They're gonna give you a half of a half of a half of a percent of
Mm,
whatever.
mm,
Like, like these
I
bots,
see.
you're not doing 200,000, 100,000, or even 10K of volume just through arbitrage bots. Like, they're just not.
I don't know, man. I see some arbitrage. Like, there's some tokens. I'm not gonna call out
Well,
any names that are
so
doing
there
volume I
is.
know is not real.
Well, what do you mean
Well,
not real?
okay. Organic. It's real in the sense that yes, there is money flowing through these pools and therefore is volume occurring, but
Yeah.
it's not human beings saying, "Hey, I am buying this to make an investment." Right? It's
Well, you
people
mean
are
like how it's being routed? That's
uh
all it is, man. It's just being routed through. Sometimes, like Patias is really good with, being very direct, but sometimes you'll see some random routes where it goes through like six different tokens, just back and forth and like side to side, and so that's kind of how where a lot of that volume comes from. Like,
I see what you're saying. I see what you're
yeah,
saying.
but as far as like arbitrage, yeah, I mean that's you're right about that. There are bots definitely as well. Um, yeah, but like there are tokens that are doing a lot. But now let me ask you this: those tokens, do they already have probably a very high initial liquidity? Because you won't see a token just come out of nowhere like with even liquidity like ours where it's at, and it's actually higher than 42. That was just showing the pulse. We
Mm,
actually have a lot. Our next two biggest pairs are Inc and PTGC. Oddly enough, someone
interesting.
start yeah, someone started that and burned it like on the first week that we were live. Um, but you won't even see that with we're not getting like $1,000 buys coming in through our bots or anything like that. Um, but I believe it's just based off how much volume we have or how much liquidity we have, obviously. And that's the thing with these reflection tokens, they go up and then someone puts out a new one that has a better logo, has a better name, has a better founder, you know, better founder wearing a nicer shirt that says something just the right way, like that's all it is. I want to get away from all that. Shouldn't rely on a founder. Don't rely on me. I'm just a guy. That's it. It's all about the code. What does it do? How does it do it? And I feel like we just do it better. We do it right. We found a way to negate volume and liquidity. Now we just got to fill that hex pool. That's our main goal.
So, if you don't identify as a reflection token, or at least you identify as a unique form of a reflection token,
Yeah.
what would you call yourself as a token if you had to identify your classification? You can get back to me on that one,
I
but
don't
I'm
know,
just curious.
man. I
I'm just
mean,
curious.
it's end game. It's end game. As long as hex stays up, what else? What else do we need? Like, that's it. Hex just needs to survive. It's been working flawlessly 4 years. I hear people saying it every day, and they tweet about it and all this. Um, yeah, So as long as Hex stays live, we're good. Because that means that all the Hex that's being distributed has value and it's worth some money.
Which we all know that unless somebody does something weird at the chain level, and by, if Ethereum gets corrupt or something somehow, which I don't even know if it'd be possible at that point. Maybe, probably is, or someone at, colludes on Pulse Chain, all the validators get together and change things. I'm saying, barring a crazy, unforeseen, maybe even impossible or damn near impossible black swan event, Hex isn't being turned off.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the most beautiful things about Hex. And so sounds like
Like
SuperStake the
yeah.
same way.
Yeah, man. Like that I like completely decentralized. Like don't get me wrong, I get it. The wallet, like you guys have to do it. But even the way that you guys did time, where it automatically pays Pulse, like you're not worried about it being locked away in some well, so you do have to claim it, right?
You
You
have to
claim
claim
it.
it. Yep.
But at the same point, you can claim it right off the blockchain, Block Explorer, right?
Absolutely. And nobody can access that. Only the address that earned the Pulse can. And that's
Can
obviously,
access it.
yep,
Okay.
verifiable on chain. You don't have to
Yeah.
trust me on that.
No, no, no. But it's just stuff like that where you made sure, like, dude, you have a product where you're giving away 100% of your revenue. What? Why isn't no?
He was about to spit facts. Yeah, for those that don't know, the Internet Money Wallet does share 100% of its revenue with holders of the Time token. And so you don't have to stake it. You don't have to lock it up in any way, shape, or form. You just hold time and you earn passive income in the form of Pulse or ETH, BNB, or Matic. And the cool thing is, you don't have to buy the Time token or sell the Time token. Everything that gets swapped within the wallet is generating that revenue. Welcome back.
You better quit this, bro. You're trying to silence me, trying to
Gate
gatekeep me.
gate kept.
But no, it's serious, man. Like you guys are. It just baffles me when I still hear Rabby. I hear Rabby again or Pulse Wallet, whatever it is. Like no, you guys are doing it right. Just simple, straight up no. You guys are on the App Store. You got great reviews. You're native to Pulse. As soon as I go in my wallet, like, dude, I've had so many people. I've onboarded so many people because of your wallet.
Nice.
Yeah, like as soon as they get in, do this, and then boom, I send them a little bit of Pulse, and the fact that everything's uploaded or preloaded, like what? Like it's better. The people they don't care. They just got their groups. They got their. We won't go down that route today.
Well, I'll tell you this. Everybody likes to scream revolution from the couch. But when it's time to pick up your gun and go fight, no one wants to do it. Everybody said, "Oh, MetaMask sucks. We want to get off of MetaMask. We can't wait to leave MetaMask behind. We hate that MetaMask steals our data. We hate that MetaMask gatekeeps Hex, literally censored you from swapping Hex on their wallet. We
Yeah,
hate that. We hate that MetaMask doesn't show our prices for Pulse Chain assets. We hate all those things." Okay, well, here we go. We have a MetaMask alternative native to Pulse Chain that does everything you wish MetaMask would do for Pulse Chain. Look, even for Ethereum and Binance and Polygon and Phantom and ETH Fair, ETH POW, all these chains, every single token has a price. So we're literally a wallet that every single community can rally behind because they are represented. Now we're still working on a system to support more and more logos because that's important. At the very least, you'll have a ticker and a price. And as far as swapping, I bring this one up a lot. Listen to this. We are so MetaMask, Rabby, they don't support in-app swapping on Pulse Chain. not only do we share 100% of the revenue from our in-app swap on Pulse Chain, it's the best place to swap. We aggregate PulseX V1, PulseX V2, 9mm V2, 9mm V3, 9-inch, Desktop, Pateus, Fux, forked over Uni V2, Uni V3, Sushi Swap, Shiba Swap, and Pancake Swap. And we actually just added Spark Swap. That's coming soon. And we're actually in the hunt for another DEX. So it's like, you even get all the liquidity. And you could swap your tax tokens. And you know what? If people aren't using it, you're actually missing out on higher yielding swaps.
You ever just bang your head against the wall? Just like you just stare at a wall for a second and just wonder if this is real.
You
Like
know,
where we were 2 years ago, just 2 years ago, where we all rallied behind one product, and then Pulse comes out and you know, like it's over. People
I,
just yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? Is when it was just Hex, you had all this power propping up one thing, one idea, one asset. And then Pulse Chain comes out, and you now have a whole ecosystem. Liquidity is dispersed, ideas are dispersed.
Hmm.
So you decentralized the Hex community in a way.
Well, yeah. Which don't get me wrong, like that's I'm not trying to say that's a bad thing. Like it's good everyone has their own thing, but I guess it's just Twitter. Twitter's just it's been getting to me. Just some of the stuff I see on there, man. Like
Twitter
I made a
is
joke the
tough.
other day that thumbnail I sent you is a joke.
Uh-huh.
The 100x. So I don't know if you saw, but I did. I basically used our chart and I tried to form some trend line based
On
off
it.
of based off of being at 50 cents of how it's going to go up to $100, and it
Uh-huh.
just looks absolutely ridiculous. But I would just had people messaging me like, "Dude, you really think that can happen?" I was like, "No, no, I don't. I do not. Maybe anything can happen, but no, I would put my chips in the no pile,
Sure.
you know." But yet you see it on Twitter, and there's freaking 500 likes. Like, who are these people? Who are these people liking all these comments? If you guys are in this chat, let's talk. Let's all get together. Let's talk about market cap and how it works. You know, um,
Yeah,
and look,
I have to get off Twitter sometimes because it actually does provide a lot of negativity, and it could really bring you down. I mean, there's some days where Twitter is great and you're engaging and you're outreaching to other communities, but a lot of the time, people are just trying to you're like raw meat in a pack of hyenas. They're just trying to tear you apart. They're criticizing every word, every little thing. And then, yeah, it can be discouraging sometimes to see, oh, hey, you feel like you're somebody who's actually providing real, unique, innovative value to the space, and people who just say the same old regurgitated stuff are who's getting all the hype, all the love. And it's like, or honestly, I've even seen a lot of stuff on Twitter and stuff that is it's either intellectual dishonesty or these people really don't know what they're talking about. And either way, it's bad.
yeah, it's more along the first the first realm. There's a lot of yeah. We don't want to go too deep into
No, we
that.
don't want to
We
go.
don't, we don't want to offend anyone, but yeah, it's yeah, it just sucks because like one one tweet could really put someone on, could really make someone make something different, make something stand out in a good way. But then something happens along the lines where you get pushed to the side, and then Joe Schmo with no picture, that never heard his voice, comes out of nowhere and well, and of course I'm just being a hater, but at the end of the day, you really gotta, you know, just sit back and look at it. But this is crypto, man. None of it makes sense.
And that's why it all makes sense. You
Exactly.
know,
Doesn't make sense. It makes dollars. Right.
I like that. I like that. And you know, man, like it's a general message to the crypto community and the pulse chain community, you know, because we're a community within a community. It's not beneficial to anybody to spend your energy and your voice attacking a project, whatever that may be. Take myself, take Kyle out of it. It doesn't matter. If you're out there and you see something that you don't like, instead of using your voice to dog that, use your voice to prop up something you believe in. Because there are people out there in the world deciding, A, if I'm going to come into crypto. If they're already in crypto, they're deciding, am I going to get into Pulse Chain? And if all they see is destruction, that's not something that's going to attract people. So you don't have to be happy go lucky all the time to everybody. If you don't like things, just don't speak on them. I'm not saying you can't use your free speech. Don't say, I'm a free speech maxi, do whatever you want and I support it. But it's net negative for everybody when you're out there propagating negativity. So find the things you like, find the things you believe in, and say good things about those things. I think it helps everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I've gone down the route of the opposite of that a couple times.
And who wins?
But once was defending you, of course. But
Oh, really? Thanks, bro. Appreciate that.
yeah. But no, it's just senseless. I don't know. It's like how, you can make more. No. I won't even go down that route. But back to SuperStake. Yeah, SuperStake. Sweet. Internet money. Great. Time
Uh,
token.
No, I do hear you. I do hear you. I actually off stream a lot. I talk to a lot of builders, you know, just by being in the builders guild, by kind of being the wallet, kind of the watering hole, just
Yeah.
interviewing builders. And something I hear a lot of builders say, regardless of how successful their project is or is not, it doesn't matter. Some of the most successful projects you know of on Pulse Chain, at least, I've had this discussion with, and the builders get discouraged. The builders actually get beat up. You might think, oh, we're smart people. And yeah, you know, we are. So thanks. But just because we're smart doesn't mean we're free of emotion. We're hardworking, we're passionate people. And that's why we're builders to begin with. And so, you know, call me a sissy, whatever, but treat your builders more kindly because builders of all success levels get discouraged, anxious, depressed, and overwhelmed. And this isn't a PSA for builder mental health, but I'm just saying that you're sometimes it weighs on the builders. I'll say
Oh,
that.
dude. Yeah. That's why I had to make sure to build something that was I think we all did. So Mark's actually the one of the guys who commented. Uh he was one of the founders. And then there was Iceman as well, who I believe you know. He's in the guild.
Yep.
Um and then DG, he was part of the team as well. And then Coin. Coin was actually the one with the initial idea that we kind of refined and whatnot. But yeah, like dude, it got to a point where we're like, this has to be completely decentralized, completely automated, like where we'd have nothing to do with it after. You know, like I love promoting it and I love, like, I want to get FUD. Someone FUD it, please. Someone give us something. Say how it's not going to work, how it's just dumb, whatever. But no, it's just nothing, you know? But that's where I sit and I'm like, okay, if you can't FUD it, why are people not talking about it? You know? And we're getting in front of a lot of people. But I mean, it's just like it's been a struggle, man. It's a struggle. Like when you reach out to an influencer, like a well-known one, and you say like, "Hey, man, I've had this project. We launched this long ago. Big fan. I comment on your stuff. I like your stuff. Uh, this is SuperStake. Give me a 15-second pitch." Like, what? Like, dude, I just saw you do like 4 videos on some meme coin that you spent hours on. You want a 15-second pitch on something that is more than 8 lines of code. Okay.
Mm,
Let
mm.
me Sorry, I just needed to get this off my chest.
No worries. I mean, but hey, you said it best yourself a little earlier, is that what you guys have here is a proof of concept, right? So you're in a sector of the crypto space that has a bad stigma, reflection tokens, tax tokens, and
Yeah.
you have a new spin on it. So maybe once you continue, hey, with time, patience, and perseverance, we shall overcome all things. So maybe once, a year of staking goes by, 2 years of staking goes by, and the concept is still growing and unaltered, it could be a different story.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, no, I think about that a lot. I just don't want to miss I mean, we won't even miss the bull run. I know why? Because regardless, if we stop doing volume today, period, uh, like I said, there would be, if we got back to 50 cents, that's 13,500 getting paid out at some point, if it does match up perfect with the top. And if that's not the top and we go to, a dollar, like everyone says, that's 26,000 in value. Uh, if we go to $100, like everyone says, well, yeah, you you get it. I mean, like think of it this way, dude. If we had even 10 million hex in there in the staking pool, right now we're at, like I said, about 2.6. Even at 10 million, we get to 50 cents. That's $50,000 getting paid out on one day worth of hex. One day, just like that. You think people are just gonna be like, "Oh, it's SuperStake reflection tokens"? No, I'm good. Like, no, they're gonna secretly. They might say that, but they're secretly buying some. Like, so,
Well,
yeah,
you know what they say? They say what the big influencer, the coin influencers say their whole shtick is fill before they shill, right? Isn't that what they
yeah,
all say?
yeah. I've actually never heard that, but that's funny.
That's I hear some of them say it all the time, fill before you shill. So
I believe it, man. I believe it. And it's like, yeah, it's just whenever I think about it, man. Like, what? Show me a token that can't die tomorrow. Like, can't. Okay, I won't say die, but that someone could come in and sell, like where the number one bag holder, number two, number 10 guy can sell, basically draining liquidity, and it'll bounce back. What meme coin can you show me that'll do that? What reflection token is strong enough that can do that? You know how many
uh,
people are going to be jumping up and down if that were to happen to us? If their number one holder were to just crash the price, they would all, um, you know, I think they would all be going crazy because at the end of the day, they're going to pick up a bunch of the supply themselves. Um, Maybe that's why we're being gate kept. Like if you go on coin, something cool. Go on Paul's coin list,
mhm.
and don't get me wrong. Like I know Paul's domains, number one reviewed project, SuperStake. We're not even on that ecosystem map. What? We don't
Where,
even show up in the stats.
let me see.
Yeah, so you go on there and you go to ecosystem rankings or something.
Here we go.
They're like good reviews that just random people have left. We just asked people,
Oh, there you go.
yeah,
Number
huh,
go up.
what's that one?
Hey, a unique one of a kind meme coin built on Pulse chain combining 5 elements and supported by the interesting. Never even heard of that. Just thought the name was funny.
But if you go to if you scroll up a little bit, so you go to click ecosystem.
Yep.
Yep. And then
Oh, you're looking for the map?
rankings. Nope, go up.
Ah,
Rankings.
got it.
Look at that.
Oh, nice. Good for you guys.
SuperStake. Wasn't that hard, honestly. You just start asking people like, hey, go leave a review. Because this is everyone loves to show that map, the little ecosystem map that we're not even on. But somehow we're the #1 ranked token on the website. And even the stats page, like if you look at the stats, I've never been able to find this, but
Bubbles, maybe?
no, I like GoPulse's bubbles, honestly. Just
That's
because
cool.
they're like strictly pulse chain.
Yeah, this is Ethereum, huh? Yeah, I see. Yeah,
Can you
GoPulse. What's up?
can you change? That's interesting.
I
I never
don't.
even
I've never used this. I don't.
yeah.
I'm clunky. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of, yeah, let's check out GoPulse's bubbles. Shout out to GoPulse. They do have nice
Dude,
bubbles.
they kill it with everything they make. Um Super clean. I love it.
Yeah. Good job, GoPulse. Shout out to you guys
Where's time at?
right here. On a little
Nice.
dippy. On a little dippy. But we just had a major run up on time. Like we
Oh,
all we
I know. Yeah.
yeah. We just like I think almost 2x'd recently last week. And then so we're on a pullback. Internet money followed suit a little bit.
So I saw something actually interesting from Don. I
Mhm.
wanted to go back to.
Oh, the comment? Okay, which one?
Where did he say it? PSS should amplify their buy and burn on the internet money, buy and burn debt.
Oh, here we go.
We were talking a little bit about that. I think that'd be something sweet.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, let me actually pull that up real quick. So
Yeah, I
for
was messing with it the other day.
those that don't know, so we talked about the time token earlier. And if you're not familiar with the time token, oh, shout out Axis. Last token preloaded here. If you're not familiar with the time token, again, 100% of the wallet revenue is distributed to time holders. So here on our buy and burn app, we have launched contracts, again, immutable, no admin keys. All these functions are public call functions. So if you wanted to build your own front end to it, you can. You don't have to rely on us. And what you can do is you can deposit your time token into the buy and burn. We actually have some enhancements coming out for the buy and burn within the next couple days, which actually adds some more stats. It's pretty cool. But then the buy and burn then earns the dividends that you would have earned for your whatever you deposited. You can actually deposit and withdraw at any time. This is not a stake. There is no lockup. So in this example, the time buy and burn itself has earned a total of about 29 million pulse and has burned just under 0.1% of the total supply. So anybody can come in and execute. There's 156,000 pulse in there waiting to buy and burn. Right now, we support all these tokens. So every swap in the Internet Money wallet actually buys and burns Hex, Ink, and PulseX, as well as some other ecosystem tokens. And what so that's the general overview of the buy and burn. It's pretty crazy actually, is with time getting bought and burned, not only does it amplify all the other buy and burns, right? Because as time deflates, the pulse that the remaining time holders earns increases. So the rest of the buy and burns actually compound in buy and burn power. So this is something we could do for SuperStake, and if you're interested, obviously shoot me a DM, Mr.
Oh,
Cruz.
dude, let's do it right now. Like, I'm definitely interested. I'm telling
Well,
you, like, dude, internet money, it's my favorite project by far. after SuperStake. Like, it just is. Just makes sense. Just now, do you plan on bringing this to? I like how anyone can build the front end for it. That's sweet.
Hmm.
Um, Definitely be something that we would be interested in building onto the SuperStake site. Do you guys plan on bringing this to mobile?
It is on mobile, yes. Oh, do you like in the app itself?
Yeah,
Yes. Eventually, this will be in the app, but right now it's only on the
it's
DApp.
not the most important thing to I got you.
Yes, but it will be very clean. We have a lot of cool things coming to the app. Go ahead.
Second question.
Yep.
What the hell is S'more's hex address or
This is
whatever that is?
it's a meme token on Pulse Chain. I don't know too much about it, but
They were just kind of the first ones to hit you
well,
up, and
actually, we have a few
not
criteria.
advocating any of these, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not advocating any of these either, but these are people who have, um, well, to speak frankly, we charge to get listed on here because it takes us, development costs to make it happen and development costs to maintain it. So,
All
you
right,
know, it was
fair enough.
a service provided.
Yeah, I mean that's how. Yeah, dude, you're providing that's good all around. You're providing something that's more. Um, it gives more exposure, obviously, to the Internet Money Wallet, to Time token, and to their token, whoever lists on there, right? So
E Exactly, and what's cool is, okay, so let's take the Axis community, for example,
yeah,
or the Texan community, or the Inc., whatever, okay? So, basically, they have their community has deposited time within this contract. So, Ba so what happens is every swap in the Internet Money Wallet now buys and burns their token. It's no additional fee to the users. So this is a synergistic relationship because it encourages their community to come in and swap within the wallet because they obviously want to buy and burn their token, and time gets bought off the open market to do so. So it's a very synergistic relationship.
yeah. And one of my favorite things that the way you explain is as far as the fees go. Dude, I literally use internet money for basically almost everything.
Nice.
And that like the fee, I don't even look at anymore. Because then you can look at the differences once it pulls up the aggregator. You can see that there's a difference in like 10, $15. Like say you're doing something that has a $1 fee, but the amount of tokens that you'd get between going from say PulseX to say 9-inch or Patius to 9-inch, whatever it may be, there's say like 10, $15 in difference of tokens. That otherwise you might not have caught that. You might have just gone straight to, one or the other, thinking that you
No.
would get it. So it's say at the end of the day, I believe it is saving you money. And it's going back towards the holders of the token. It's just it's good all around. It's good
No,
all around.
that's a really great point, actually. So the fee basically breaks down to 70 cents for every $100 that you're swapping.
Hmm.
So, but now what you get for that is, like you said, it compares all the dexes side by side, including Pateus, not just the dexes. And as more dex aggregators come online, we'll include them as well. So let's say you paid a fee of $1, $2, $10, and you were going to go directly to PulseX or directly to Fux or directly to Pateus. Well, you may not have actually gotten the best rate by going to that source. So even though you said, "Oh, I didn't pay a fee," well, what if if you let's say you paid a $10 fee, what if going to the another source that you didn't even consider would have yielded you 20 more dollars? So
Yeah,
you would have been net positive $10 by going to the Internet Money Wallet. And that happens all day, every day. And not only does that happen, we also see some cases because, again, these dexes are very liquid markets and they're always moving. They're, fluid. So we'll sometimes see that people swapping in the wallet actually get the arbitrage. Like I saw actually in my own experience, I was swapping. It was a small trade, so I kind of wish I would have went bigger, because it happened. But I was swapping like DAI to USDC, like $5 for DAI, $5 for USDC. I was just testing something, and I got 9 USDC. So I actually made about 80% on my trade because I just happened to search everywhere at the exact same time and got the ARB opportunity. So, yeah, people can get stuck on, oh, hey, it's a fee because we're trained to think, oh, MetaMask charges a fee is bad. It's not inherently the case. A lot of the time, most of the time, the fee the Internet Money Wallet charges pays for itself. And that's
Oh, yeah.
evident by swapping in there.
Dude, it's minuscule. I mean, especially if you're, it's just, yeah. It's, I don't know. I love it, man. Like onboarding, you will not find an easier way. You will not. Like, I understand when people want to bring their own money in, and once it comes around that aspect. Oh, look at those dividends. Wait, go back down.
Yeah, that's today. About $2,000 worth of Pulse paid out to time holders.
Jeez. There you
Total
go.
of total of about 90,000. ETH is 0. People actually so the dividends still get generated, but in our system, you have to sweep them over to the time contract. That's a whole rabbit hole. So on ETH, we actually don't see this pop up as much. The 30-day stat is a little better for ETH because of the gas fees, but the dividends have been slow. I mean, obviously very slow on Polygon. And Polygon's only been around for a couple months. Anyways, Pulse Chain's obviously our biggest community. Second is ETH, third Binance, fourth Polygon. So,
Yeah.
yep.
But yeah, dude, onboarding, like literally went to it was my brother's birthday the other day, and I was at the party there. And literally, like, once crypto came up, which it inevitably does because people know what I do. Um, dude, literally, hey, download the app real quick. Download the app. Okay, you download it, scan QR. Here's some
Mm,
pulse. Here's some pulse.
oof.
Here's some pulse. And like the fact that they have all that list, literally, every single one of them will text me like, "Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this?" And I tell them like, "No,
Oh,
don't
because of
buy
the preloaded tokens?
it." Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's cool.
it's great, man. Like it really is good for people for non-crypto people or even crypto people. Like it's quick. It's the quickest way into Pulse. Period. No RPC, none of that. Like, yeah, you guys got something great here.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I actually remember a few holidays ago before the wallet existed, I was onboarding some family into Ethereum or Binance or something using MetaMask. And it got to the point where they said, "Hey, KG, take my phone. Do it for me." Because it was like, I'm like, "Oh, here, I'm gonna send you this," or type, for Binance, it was like type in the chain ID 56, and then okay, listen to me. It's https:// BNB hyphen data c dot. It's like they're
Yeah,
they're they're gone, you
yeah.
know. And then I'm like, here's this contract address for this token. Oh, why does it have a price? Oh, because MetaMask doesn't care about us. It's all this stuff. So yeah, it's awesome to hear about your onboarding
Oh,
experience.
that was always the best when some.
We lost you. But yeah, Pulse chain dividends. This is really nice. So the whatever your percentage of the time holding is, you would have earned that much of that today. What's up, Kyle?
Dude, swear to God, KG, one more time, bro. Just joking. But
That time was me.
but no, when you get like a text message of someone that like had 0.001 ETH and they send you and they're like, dude, I have $1 million. What? Can't believe that happened. Like, no, dude, it's not registering the price correctly. They're
Yeah.
like, dude, you sure? I'm like, yeah, ETH didn't go up $1 billion in one day. Like, but yeah, man. So wait, with time and perseverance and whatever you said earlier, stuff she'll pay off, right? Whatever it is.
Basically,
Yeah,
yeah. Same concept.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, man, on that note, we're at about an hour and a half.
Yeah, let's call it, man.
Is there any closing thoughts, closing statements you wanted to make about SuperStake, about crypto, about life, whatever? Floor is yours.
Um, SuperStake.win. That's the website. SuperStake.win.
In the
All one
description.
word in the description. You can follow me at Super Kyle Cruz. But more importantly, SuperStake.win. All one word. That's our Twitter handle. But yeah, if you want to get away from tokens where people are always talking about price go up, and guys, hodl, 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 and all that stuff, come to ours. We talk about, like, grown up stuff, and we're not, everyone's not trying to get your money. So outside that, appreciate you having me on, KG, and yeah, keep on keeping on.
All
That's
right.
about it.
Well said, Kyle. Parting word from Don Montoya. Just keep grinding, Kyle. Time in the market will prove itself beneficial. Outlast the competition, as Gamma likes to say. But on that, Kyle, I'm gonna drop you down, give my closing thoughts,
Yes,
and
sir.
we'll talk soon, man. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, KG.
Later,
Talk to you
later,
soon,
sir.
buddy. Bye.
Later. All right. Well, that was another Internet Money Deep Dive stream. In these streams, there's always so much to learn, so much to consider, so much nuance that you're never going to cover everything in one setting. It's not possible. And arguably, if you can cover every single point of nuance in 1 hour setting like this, it may be a simpler project, which, hey, for some people, that's okay. But projects that have a lot of philosophy around them tend to be the projects that have a longevity. Now, I can't say that for PSSH or any project in general because, hey, this is crypto. Anything can happen, it can all go to zero. There's no guarantees in this space. But it seems that projects with longevity in mind typically have the staying power. And now, don't ever just trust people. Don't trust Kyle. Don't trust KG. Don't trust anybody that you hear out there in the crypto space. What you need to do is you need to verify these things for yourself. You need to do your own research. If you don't know how to do your own research or you're not a developer and you can't dive into these things, that's understandable. Doing your own research can be overwhelming, it can be daunting. You have a few avenues. If you have a little bit of money, you can hire developers to review code for you. Or if you decentralize your trust, right? Is the idea of decentralized trust is don't ever trust just one voice. Trust many voices. And it's not a foolproof solution, but if a lot of people are speaking intelligently and they're backing up what they're saying with facts that you, to the best of your ability, can verify, odds are you are entering into something that is better than the other things. Again, I mean, we have high level scammers that, after long periods of time, we have Bernie Madoffs of the world, but do your best to decentralize your trust and verify to the best of your ability. And if at the end of all of that, you never invest what you can't afford to lose, then you can never really lose. Because if you're not gambling the rent money, then what you have on the line isn't detrimental to your life. So, my personal crypto investment strategy is I identify what amount of money that if somebody came up with a lighter and lit those dollar bills on fire, what would I be okay to lose? Again, I don't want people lighting my money on fire, but I'm still going to feed my family. I'm still going to have a roof over my head. I'm still going to eat. I'm still going to be able to put gas in my car. Take care of yourself out there. And as always, we're going to end the stream with the Internet Money Anthem. It's got a little philosophy. It's got little beats. It's made by our friend Base God. If you haven't heard it, it's worth the 2 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Remember the 3 rules of crypto. Rule number 1, not your keys, not your coins. If you don't get that one, you're not ready for anything else. Rule number 2, never FOMO, in or out. It's a project with staying power. It'll be there tomorrow. Rule number 3, don't trust, verify. Until next time, I'm KG, founder of InternetMoney.io. Peace.
What is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is more than just money. Cryptocurrency is a lifestyle, a philosophy, an ecosystem, the means by which human beings to attain financial freedom, not just in the sense of multiplying their investment, but giving humans the ability to interact with money in any way that they see fit. And if that way doesn't already exist, that's the beauty of crypto, is you can create it. And that's what we've done here. Internet money is the future. Internet money is the future. What is internet money, you ask? Well, it's just that.